ForSaleByOwner.com. Hi, this message is. Hey guys, it's Lauren from The Real Estate Mentor. On this episode, I wanted to give you a little bit of a preface to get you up to speed. The other night, I went home and called FSBOs. Hi Jeffrey, this is Lauren. I'm interested in talking to you about your house I saw on ForSaleByOwner.com. Hi, this message is for Gordon. Hi, this message is for Leslie. Hi Jim, my name is Lauren. I saw your ad on ForSaleByOwner.com and I'm interested in talking to you about possibly purchasing your house. So I just called 8 more. Nobody answered, leaving me at a total of 22 property information sheets filled out. And this is where it makes it hard because I'm working during the day and then I work late and then I come home and either people are eating dinner or they're doing something with their family or I don't know what they're doing, but they're not answering the phone. So to my point that David and Alan have it easier than I do. So I guess I'll just keep trying. And as you can see, I didn't have any luck. Until later that night, I got a text message from a prospect that told me that she was really eager to sell and she wanted to know how serious I was, otherwise she was going to list her house. So I called her back immediately and she was selling for $234. She owed $222 on it. I got her down to sell for what she owes on it. I went to Ron and I gave him my property information sheet and he said that it was a potential prospect. So from then on, we pulled comps and you're about to see what happens from there. Stay tuned.
All right, Lauren and I are going down the road right now. There's a house right down the street from the office that Lauren called on, and the lady said she'd take what she owes on it, and she owes about $222. It's in excellent condition. It's only a few years old, and they're moving out of town, and they just want to sell it for what's owed on it. There's about an $1,800 a month payment on it. So we're going to go down here and take a look at it and check the comps around it. I want to see what the houses sold for that are similar to it right around it, because it's a little hard for us to just take a look at the list and see which ones are true comps or not. So we're gonna quickly look at the outside of the house. We can't get in, the lady's left town, and then we're going to look at the comps, and we'll get that on film for you so you can see how I go through the process. I hope it's here somewhere.
I think it's that one.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's here.
The one that says for sale by owner. See, that's perfect. Okay, here we are. We're in front of the house now. As you can see, there's a for sale by owner sign in the front yard. And all we can do is take a look at the outside today. We can't get inside. The owner has left town on a trip, so we're going to catch her when she gets back. As you can see, it's a pretty nice house and relatively new. So now what we're going to do is go look at what the comps look like and see if they compare to this house. Yeah, we got a nice patio in the back of the yard. This will help greatly to sell the house. People love to sit in a screened-in patio like that. Nice, great big air conditioner sitting there, so it should keep the house ample cool and just about enough yard to mow without having a big maintenance problem. House looks in excellent condition, and I think it'll be very easy to sell. We still have to go find out if there's more owed on it than it's worth. See you in a minute. Okay, we're leaving the house now. We're going to head into the comps, but I just want to make a point before we do. Just how easy it is to find a place to live in if you want to live in it. Here's an absolutely gorgeous house that the lady will gladly give someone just to get debt relief from it. They're leaving town, and the payment's about $1,800 a month. So anybody who wanted to buy a house without credit, because nobody's going to check the credit to buy this house, we're going to take over the property subject to the underlying loan, which means the loan will stay in her name and she'll transfer ownership to us. It's really just that simple. We keep making payments on it until sometime in the future when we either refinance it or sell it and the new buyer goes and gets a new loan the old-fashioned way and cashes us out. There are thousands of these all over the place, hundreds right around where you live, I can assure you. We're just kind of getting a little film of the neighborhood here to see what kind of neighborhood we're in. As you can see, they're relatively nice houses, all in good condition, and mostly rather new houses as well. So this is the kind of neighborhood that I like. Very sellable, not low end, People can afford to make the payments here. People can afford to make the down payment or the deposit that we're looking for to lease option it to them. And this is just the kind of quality neighborhood that I love working in. Okay, Lauren's going to get out and get a flyer on a house that's right here in the same neighborhood as ours is. So let's see what they want for this house, which is, I don't think it's quite as nice as the one we're looking at, but it's close. So let's just see what we got to say about it here. Okay, Lauren, what are they asking for it? Alrighty.
$219,900.
They're asking $219,900. That's actually a good sign. Can you tell me, since I don't have my glasses, how many square feet's in it?
1910.
It's almost identical to our house, and they're asking just about what's owed on our house, but I still like the looks of our house better, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this house is one we're looking at. I think it's owed just about what it's worth. We'll know in a minute. All right, we got another FSBO sign here. Look how small that sign is, and you wonder why people don't get their houses sold. One teeny weeny little sign. Guy like me need a binoculars to read that number. So fortunately, I got the 23-year-old here with me. So while we're riding around looking for comps to compare our house to, we're getting a feel for the neighborhood. We're going to check out what's for sale. We're going to find out what they're asking. So the next time we go into this neighborhood, we'll know more about it than anybody even living here because we did our homework. And wouldn't this be a great neighborhood now to mail yellow letters into, Lauren, to get people to call us that don't even have their signs out in front now that we've become an expert in this area. So
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Okay.
All right, is this the house here that we're looking for that's sold or not?
Yes, sir.
All right. To our right here is a house that's sold. How much did it sell for?
179.
All right, this one sold for $179, and we feel like it was a distressed bank-owned property when it sold. In fact, it was. We can see that on the comp sheet. So that's why it sold cheap. And guys and gals, you cannot use bank-owned distressed properties to compare your property to if you're going to sell it to an arm's length buyer. Lauren's going to sell this house to a lease option tenant buyer, which makes it even worth more, easier to sell. So we're going to find out what the top end of that market is if we were to take that gorgeous house and put it in the hands of a lease option tenant buyer, even though we're probably going to wind up paying about 100% of what it's worth because we're taking over a debt that I think is 100% financed. We'll see if we're going to figure out how to make some money out of a 100% financed house. All right, here's another one that sold for $179,900. As you can see, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as our subject does. Plus, it doesn't look to be as well built. That ugly looking siding on it, it just doesn't have the pizzazz. How many square feet's in this one, Lauren?
1,791.
Okay, it's 200 square foot less in addition to that, which in a house this size, let's say if you just put $100 a square foot on it, you're $100 a square foot times 200 feet, you're looking at $20,000 right there in difference in price. So this one, if it was the same size, might have sold for about $200,000. When did this one sell, Lauren?
8/28/2009.
And this one sold last August as well. So we're in May right now, so that's really not a good comp. I wouldn't use it. I'd discard it and look for comps that are higher priced, and that's exactly what we're going to go do next. All right, here's one that just sold 2 months ago for $246,000, but it's new. We're in a little bit different area, but right next door to the one we just came out of. Our house is several years old. This one's new, but this house only has 1,600 square feet in it, which is 300 square feet less than our subject, because I guess all this garage is taking up the space in it. It's a good looking house, but frankly, I like the looks of ours better. But this one sold for more than what we're going to pay for ours. So I can't say that our house is worth $246, but I can make a case that since ours is 300 square foot bigger, it won't be too far off of that. And truthfully, we don't know what it's worth till we get a buyer. But before this is over, we're going to put a number on it that we think we can sell it for. All right, here's another one right here on this same street that sold for $243,000, which frankly is not all that attractive to me. And when did it sell, Lauren?
It sold January 28th.
January of this year, so that would have been about 5 months ago. And how many square feet's in it?
Doesn't say it.
No square feet listed. It looks to be about the exact same size. In fact, it looks like it might be the same model as the one we just left. So there's two houses on the same street that sold within $3,000 of each other, all about $23,000 more than we're paying for our house, which is 300 square foot larger. All right, here we got a nice looking house that sold for $229,000 in about 8 months ago. And it is how many square feet, Lauren?
1,991.
Almost exact same size as ours. So it's a pretty good comp, and it's right in the exact same neighborhood, and it's at about the same age. I think ours looks a lot nicer than this one, I can tell you that. But here we go, we got a comp that's worth more. So this one I would definitely use as a comp. As we're riding down the road here, we're going to keep an eye out for sale by owner signs, because I'm in my car right now and it's got a program in it that whenever it sees a FSBO sign, it stops. It won't go past one without stopping. Just kidding, just kidding. That's Lauren's job.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right, we're through with our little road trip right now. So, in a nutshell, we've looked at several comparable properties, and they're all within a very close range of what our subject is. And I'm going to conclude that the house that we're looking at buying is just about as much owed on it as it's worth. So why would I want to buy it? Why would Lauren want to buy it? There's actually several reasons. Number one, it won't require any money except for a little closing cost. Number two, we're going to try to get the seller to make the next 2 or 3 payments on it to give us plenty of time to put somebody in it. And number three, it's in excellent shape, ready to move into, and I think that we can get a lease option tenant buyer to come in and just walk into that house with $10,000 or $15,000 cash, start making lease option payments on it until they get around to buying it, if ever. And here we are. We got a brand new, almost new asset worth about what we're paying for it, with no risk on our part, no credit check, no financial statement to put up, no down payment, and no banks. And then we can turn around and put it in the hands of anybody that comes in that says they like it, that we like. They'll be in the house, they'll occupy it in a few days, they'll live there as owners, and when they get a chance, they'll buy it. So we make a profit for what we know. They get in a house that they probably can't get into any other way right now. Everybody wins, seller gets out, seller gets to move on, knowing that her payments are going to get made. That's what the business is all about. Okay, we're going to see if we can get a hold of the seller here now. I know that she has arrived at her destination, so we're going to see if I can get her on the phone, and I can ask her some critical questions here to determine whether we want to buy this house or not. It's not whether we can buy it, it's whether we want to buy it.
Hello.
Leslie.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
I am good, sitting here beside Lauren. So don't say...
Hi.
All right, we just came back from a trip. We went around the house. Obviously, we didn't get in it, but we don't need to at this point. I did pull up the pictures off the website that you told me about, so I'm sure the house is in excellent shape. We did a lot of work on checking the comps and looking at the comps in your neighborhood, and I concluded that you owe just about what that house is worth, and that's probably stretching it just a little bit on value, because I got comps. I got one that sold right around the corner from you for $219,900 with a pool in the backyard. So I can live with that, but I did get my answer. What I need you to know is this. I can buy this house, Leslie, but the only way I can buy it is to take over your debt. And that means that when you and I agree, I'll start making payments on it. And sometime in the not too distant future, it'll get cashed out and paid off. And I will pay the closing cost on it, which in itself, for your information, is about $2,500. But if you live in this house through the month of June, which I take that you wanted to do, give or take, and then I'm going to ask you to make the payment that is due for July, which is actually for June anyway, because interest is paid in arrears, whether you know it or not. And then I'm going to ask you to make the payment for August, and I will pick it up from then on. So those conditions would have to be met before I purchased it, but the good news is I can purchase it as fast as you want me to purchase it.
Nice, nice. Now, I'm going to reside in there through July.
Through July? Well, that's okay as well. That just means that I will start making the payment the month after. I want you to make the one on the first of the month after you move out, and the one after that, and then I will pick it up the following month. And frankly, I don't, if you want to, July, August, don't make any difference to me.
Okay.
Which is good, that I'm not somebody trying to kick you out and move in right behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a lot on my plate. I'm taking another trip with the boys, and it would just be too much to try to pack up with that short break in between my trips that are lined up.
Well, I'm in no rush. So with that said, if you want me to, we'll get you a purchase and sale agreement out tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to get to it today. If I'm going to let Lauren get your address where we can send it. In fact, we could email her one. We can email you one, and then you can, I guess you can sign it and email it back. They do that nowadays, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to turn it over to Lauren and let her get that information from you. And then you probably should discuss this with your husband now and make sure you guys are okay. And again, I'm going to need to see that power of attorney so I can send it to my attorney. When you send back the contract, I'm going to want that to come with it so he can tell me if we're going to need your husband's signature before we go any further.
Okay, yeah, I can get that one off to you, and then I'm going to get a hold of my attorney once you send me your thing and have them look through
Okay.
all the documents and my documents as well, and make sure that my thing is good to go on his end as well.
All right. Well, she's going to get you the purchase and sale agreement out. You guys can communicate, and when you get it done, I'll jump back in, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Bye. Okay, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No, no,
All
no,
right.
no, I'm so excited.
Okay, now you see where I had to tell it like it is now. I told her that the only way we can do is take over her debt. And it'll stay in her name, and we're going to make payments till sometime in the future when it's paid off. And frankly, if she would have said, no, I can't do that, I'm out, no way I would have bought this house, because that's the only way I'd buy it. I'm not going to go down to the bank and assume her loan. I'm not going to go get a new loan. And in this case, since there's no equity in it, really, I'm not going to write checks either. Okay. So we're going to send her an agreement. She'll sign it, she'll send it back, and we're going to turn it over to our attorney and let him set it up for closing, do a title search, get the paperwork ready, and then she'll go in and sign it whenever she's ready. And then by that time, we'll have an agreement on when she's going to get out and when the payments are going to start.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
That's all there is to it.
So there you have it. Now you know why I'm so excited. This can actually be the real deal. So stay tuned, because it's just getting good. Next week, we're going to show you where Alan is. See you Monday night.